Incredible flavours, even better stories. One pour, 10 minutes. Aussie bourbon lovers sharing bourbon with Australia.
I'm kind of excited about this squeaky noise. Oh, yeah.
It's a good sound.
What are we having?
We're having a...
Very generous pour.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this the Jack Daniels?
No.
No?
Wild Turkey 101.
Wild Turkey 101. Look at that. Couldn't even see the bottle.
That's right. And it's got Eddie Russell's name on the bottle. He signed it for me.
Yes. He did sign it for you.
Yeah. Cheers. This is a wacky story about why Eddie Russell signed my bottle. And unlike a lot of our other stories that take place in Kentucky, this story takes place in South Yarra.
Yeah. Right, locally. Right near home.
What do you reckon of the Wild Turkey 101 before I tell the story?
It's got a... I don't know. I was going to say smoky, but it's not smoky. It's like you're walking into a...
cigars. Sometimes people talk about cigar box and like cigars.
It's not like smoky. Like often you get like a very like you can get that when the barrel's like charred or smoked. You get that
bit of musty kind
smell. But this has kind of got. I'm thinking like an old bookshop kind of smell.
Ooh, good one. Old book pages.
Yeah, and like the leather cover and the open. It's just that nice, not bad smelling, but nice smelling.
Yeah, nice one. Wild Turkey 101 is one of these really kind of old expressions, it's been around for a long time, of Wild Turkey. 101 refers to the proof, so 100 proof is 50%, 101 proof is 50.5%.
Yeah.
I did the maths right?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I did do the maths right. No, I did. Anyway, so that's what it is. 101 is 50.5%. And Eddie Russell's the master distiller. Yeah. His dad, Jimmy Russell, was the master distiller before him. And it's a kind of like this lovely family business. Do you know the Wild Turkey story?
I don't know the Wild Turkey story, but I know it's a very... actually, no, I know a little bit. Like they went hunting for wild turkeys, and one of the guys brought along a barrel of bourbon.
Yeah, not a whole barrel, but he
was samples.
Yeah,
and they loved it so much that they kept asking him, "Hey," look, and they called it wild turkey because it's the stuff they'd had on the
Wild Turkey hunts.
Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. And you did a good version of that storytelling. Because the thing about it is that I can't remember the name of the distiller, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he was taking, samples of bottles that he really liked. Yeah.
Yeah. Going off for a weekend with your mates and you take some delicious drink and then it has no name other than they would have called it whiskey or bourbon or something.
When can we have more of that delicious Wild Turkey whiskey, they would say?
Yeah. And Wild Turkey's very well-known, common, like I'd say, like in Australia.
Hugely.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, used a lot in mixers.
Well, and the pre-mixes as well. You can get,
a
can of Wild Turkey and cola or whatever. That's very common.
Yeah.
So in Australia, I think Wild Turkey is one of the bourbons that is probably best known.
Yeah.
Like you think of Jack Daniels, which, call themselves Tennessee whiskey. You think of Jim Beam, which is the white label Jim Beam is hugely common here. And Wild Turkey, I think, sits in amongst that. It's probably like a little bit of a step above Jim Beam, but
it's very well known.
Yeah, hugely.
But tell us, Dave, why do you have a signed bottle?
So, Eddie Russell was here doing a tour for Wild Turkey because they were promoting one of the Masters Keep releases.
Special bottles.
Yeah, they do a finished series called Masters Keep where they finish it's kind of Eddie Russell's thing. He finishes it in a particular barrel, and he loves experimenting. I found this out because I chatted to him. Because in South Yarra, I found out that there's this thing where he did a series of appearances in different parts of Australia over a couple of days. Yep. And in Melbourne, I saw that he was going to be in an IGA right near where my office is in South Yarra. And I was like, well, I'm going to go down and say hello. And so I walked into this IGA in Toorak Road in South Yarra, and
there he was.
There he is, Eddie Russell, just hanging out next to a couple of bottles of Wild Turkey, and there was one other guy there, but no one else was really there. No one knew what was going on.
He did events later, and there was like hundreds of people trying to see him and talk to him.
And no one able to talk to him, but I just went to this IGA, and we had a great chat for about half an hour or something. he signed my bottle. We got photos and stuff like that. And I had a great chat to him about all the things he likes to do with experimenting. And
you couldn't buy a bottle of the
Jimmy
bottle he was promoting, though.
They didn't have any Master's Keep. I wanted a bottle of it for him to sign, and they didn't have any. It was super annoying. But
so you bought the delicious 101.
Bought the 101. And, you know, this is the bottle of 101 is one of these bottles that people keep saying time and time again. They just keep coming back to it as just a great pour that's really easy to get your hands on, really reliable and consistent. I'm just not a massive fan of the Wild Turkey flavour profile.
Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. And like I said, it's an easy drink. You can go to it with anything and have it with anything, have it on its own.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying...
It's not one of your favourite.
I've got some of the other flavour profiles...
Doesn't knock your socks off.
Are the ones that I prefer over this. That's all it is. Yeah. It's delicious. If I was stuck on a desert island and I had a case of this, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, you'd be very happy, man. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, again, it's not one of my favourites, but I really enjoy this one.
They talk about one of the interesting things about this is that the recipe has never changed. Of the Wild Turkey mash bill.
Yeah, well, because lots of them sort of switch it up and change it and try and experiment a bit. They've been very, very consistent with theirs.
Yeah. And I think, you know, of course, time changes all sorts of things. And then, you know, we've spoken about this a lot in the past, but the barrel, of course, changes, you know, and where the barrel sits in the rick house, that kind of stuff. But I haven't had a chance to taste a really dusty Wild Turkey 101, but it's been around for a while. And
yeah, it's just consistently good. That's what I find with the Wild Turkey. Consistently good.
Delicious. Delicious. It's one of the distilleries we haven't been to either.
It's on our list.
It's on our list.
Look out, Kentucky, here we come.
Yeah. And so I am looking forward to going back to it. David's Rickhouse, one of my favourite TikTok creators in the bourbon land, loves his Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey.
And, of course, there's the Russell Reserve. There's so many different Wild Turkey expressions.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of rye as well, the Russell's Reserve rye as well.
So is the 101 a more common one, would you say?
Yeah, well, it's crazy easy to get.
Yeah.
More common, definitely easy to get in Australia for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And so we can't really talk about the experience at Wild Turkey because we haven't been there, but definitely you can get plenty of it here in Australia. I reckon you would have trouble walking to a dam if you not find, or like a local bottle shop in Australia,
most bottlers
and not find a bottle of 101.
Yeah.
I wonder, it's probably similar in the US. Yeah. Yeah.
And there you go, you got a signed bottle.
It's pretty cool. I've started using it as a decanter because I emptied it. You know when you empty a signed bottle?
I'm sure we've drunk that and the bottle's sitting here full.
But I'm so happy that it's signed that I have gone, oh, well, I definitely don't want to, you know, have an empty bottle that's got a signature on it. So I bought another bottle of 101 and topped it up again. Is it okay that I do that?
I think that's fine. You don't want to just keep a standard bottle, but if it's signed, that's something you don't want to just throw it in the recycle.
And it's a nice story. He was so generous and kind with his time.
Did you ask him some good questions?
I asked him so many questions because one of the things that I'm really interested in is and I asked him some really cool stuff. One of the questions I asked, it's like we're doing an interview with Eddie Russell, but he's nowhere near us. I said, what do you think of people who buy bottles and just hold on to them and never drink them? And he's like, it drives me nuts that people would do that. And the fact that there's a secondary market where people will buy whiskey and then resell it just because it's rare.
Yours would be worth a lot if you hadn't opened it. No, as in if you hadn't opened it signed. And some people would put that on their shelf and never opened it because they had a signed bottle. But instead you just keep refilling yours.
And I have someone who helps me get my hands on good bourbon who will remain very nameless, but has a lot of unopened bottles. And he's one of these collectors who collects bottles, doesn't open them. And I can't stand this thing.
But each to their own. Some people like to collect it. Some people like to drink it.
But
some people do a bit of both.
Why you got bottles that you're not opening? Come on, it's been made to be drunk.
And enjoyed with friends.
Yeah, and to share stories and memories over.
Yeah.
And, you know, what a great and wonderful thing we get to do is just hang out and enjoy beautiful bourbon and yummy caramel vanilla flavours and cigar box. And
enter an old bookshop.
Yeah, old bookshop. I love that that's a note you're getting. As it opens up, I reckon there's like a caramel coated old bookshop.
Caramel coated. Yeah, okay.
Obviously, wash your hands before you
open
open old books.
Candy shop, like candy store and bookshop together.
Yeah.
Quality and consistency. Wild Turkey.
Here's to Eddie Russell and an IGA. Cheers.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you're connected with us on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube, and stay connected with us by clicking subscribe on your favourite podcast app.